Welcome to Tenacity, the podcast where we explore the forgotten skills that can make us self-reliant and resilient. I'm Dr. Bradley Garrett, your host, and today we're embarking on a unique journey, life on the water. Tenacity, the things we do to survive. Whether it's escaping disaster zones or embracing a new lifestyle, a well-stocked boat can be your floating sanctuary. Now, I say this all the time, but when it comes to prepping, geography matters. And although I now live in the desert, I used to live in Sydney, Australia, right next to a calm little harbor into the Pacific Ocean. And I spent a lot of time paddleboarding and kayaking in that ocean. And while I was there, I had the good fortune to meet Hugh Howey, the author of the Silo books, a science fiction series about a group of people who were born, live, work, and die inside a giant bunker because some terrible event has taken place outside. And Hugh happened to be passing through Sydney on his sailboat on a journey around the world, and he invited my partner Amanda and I to come on his boat for a night where we talked about survival. Hugh was convinced that if there was a global catastrophe, the boat was the safest place to be. He said that he had an unlimited bounty of food, he could desalinate seawater, and he could sail by wind indefinitely, outrunning any disaster. And I have to say, it was an alluring, if privileged, vision. Now, very few of us are going to be buying a boat anytime soon, but let's get down to brass tacks on this maritime lifestyle. Think about how much you pay for rent, and then imagine instead that you were sending that money to a boat payment and maybe a place to moor or park your boat. It sounds like a pipe dream, but it really can be a gateway to independence. I've got a couple of friends that live on narrowboats in the UK that they purchased for about 50 grand, a quarter of the cost of buying a tiny flat. And while boat insurance can be just as expensive as house insurance depending on the value of your boat, and you'll still need to pay for mortgage payments, insurance, waste management, slip fees, gas, fuel, and all that stuff, you'll definitely save on electricity as you're heating and lighting a much smaller space. It's also likely that you'll be able to save money on energy and water expenses. Now look, moving from a house or flat to a narrowboat comes with different kinds of safety and security concerns to consider. The most obvious includes installing a smoke alarm, carbon monoxide alarm, and fire extinguishers if they aren't already there. You need to check those regularly, as well as the basics like your bilge pump and battery levels. After all, many narrowboats are heated by wood-burning stoves, and a fire getting out of control can mean your house literally burns as well as sinks. That's obviously game over. But living on water isn't just about economics. It's also a mindset, a way to stay mobile while creating a sense of home. Socializing is easier in a marina. Neighbors help neighbors, and there's usually someone who can advise you on an issue. But remember, it's a two-way street, so be ready to return the favor and lend a hand where you can. And as you navigate the water, whether you're in the open ocean or inland rivers, you're gonna run into other people who are doing the same thing, so you'll need to depend on each other. Life on the water isn't just a choice, it's a community. And there's a camaraderie that comes with this lifestyle that can put you on solid ground, no pun intended, in terms of preparedness. Like urban living, there are unique challenges that come with life on the water. You'll need to navigate tight spaces and come up with crafty storage solutions, like strapping things on the outside of the boat. When you move from a full-size house into a narrowboat or a sailboat, it can be difficult to adjust to. You'll realize just how much space your belongings take up when you no longer have cupboards, under the stairs storage, or a garage to put all of your stuff in. But when making your boat feel like home, you also have to be prepared for mildew and condensation to become more prevalent problems than in your house. Make sure that your boat is kept warm and dry with plenty of ventilation, and you can easily prevent this. And I know all of this might sound like work, and it is, it's hard work. But imagine putting in hundreds of miles on your boat, staking out campsites, exploring and keeping costs to a minimum, learning how to do DIY projects, fixing the engine yourself, and coming up with innovative ways to store your preps. You can also grow food on top of your boat, so you can literally grow food on the move. And you've got a limitless supply of water, both for drinking and for easily rehydrating food. You can even convert your boat to run on biodiesel and get your fuel for free from restaurants who'll be more than happy to hand over their old cooking oil. The options are endless here. So in conclusion, when you're considering your boat, obviously geography is important. You need to be near a river or an ocean, but you also need to think about whether your boat's going to be your bug out vehicle or your home. In either case, it's going to be a really cool journey. That wraps up this week's episode of Tenacity. I'm Dr. Bradley Garrett, encouraging you to consider life on the water as more than just a lifestyle choice. It's a skill, an adventure, and a journey towards self-reliance. Stay tuned for more episodes where we explore the forgotten skills that empower us to thrive. Until next time, stay sharp and stay safe.